Hey peeps, I'll tell you what, this social media thing's a bit of chaos. So much to learn. It's a different planet. It really is. I deleted things yesterday and did videos of more than 10 minutes and they don't upload a tick load, and then your phone runs out of storage. Then Google want more money for storage. So look, I've just taken it as a chance to just refine the format a little bit and learn as I go. As they say, you just jump in and you do it. Like, none of this time for chat and editing and things and asking AI to create shorts. I'll just chat. All right, so this was basically the Gen W video. It was probably the first one I did, and it really didn't get many views. And views have gone up 20-fold since then. So it's probably no harm to go over who the fuck Gen W are. Because the millennials are pretty scared of Gen X. They're the crazy ones, all born 20 and 30 years before internet and Google, etc., etc. You know, these are the ones like myself that could, fish, boat, bike, hunt, kill, skin, gut, cook. That was the Australian way, especially for those born in the bush. Well, Gen W are like the older brother. They're probably the more thinking of the crazier Gen X's. And the Gen Ws really believed that, the world was all sorted. We took on everything that we were taught to be true. And as we've got older, you believe everything you're told, and until you're probably, most of the times it's till you're in your 30s, and then you start to question. Well, you should, and if you're human, you will be. But Gen W is it's not really an age thing. It crosses. There's boomers can be Gen W, and Gen X can be Gen W, and Gen W can be Gen W, which is sort of, it's really 64 to maybe 60. There's a little link over there. Robert Kennedy Jr., the health guy in America, classic example. Fit as a bull, 70 years of age. Let's get health. Let's get this serious. He slaughtered the vaccines there from 72, which was insanity, to 11, which is still possibly insanity. But hey, that's a huge reduction. So the world is changing and changing quickly. AI is here and internet's here, but Gen W had to return from, the ones that saw through the bullshit, decided to, just build their homes and move quietly away. You couldn't fight the system. The system was clearly broken. John Lennon said it way back when I was a child. He thinks the world was run by insane people for insane purposes, and there's a lot of that going on. But the key is to not worry about the mirrors that are all around you and the noise and the papers and the media. It's all propaganda. It's all bullshit. It's not real. Your reality is what you interacted with today. Nothing else, nothing less. There's no point having your I love Ukraine and free Palestine and free the whales, etc., all over yourself. If you kick the dog, beat your wife, abuse your neighbour, and call the lady at 7-Eleven a cow, it all comes down to your interactions. So Gen W were pretty much the men that wanted to be left alone, and sort of had to wake up, realise that when the world went absolutely left wild ship, that we couldn't stay left alone. So they're coming back in numbers, and I'm one of the softer ones. Gee, some of these graphics are crazy. Like, the millennials are going to freak out, man. There'll be no time for these woke pronouns, and my Lord, Father. But the fun part is being in this shift, having seen it for 60 years. And I'm going to redo the videos of the grand solar cycle, which is your Chinese astrology. That's your 60-year grand solar cycle, or the cycle of heavenly return. And the Chinese suggest in that 60 years you run through everything, every karmic lesson that you've come here to learn. And it's a really vital thing. I'm going to do a few videos. I've done some, but I'll redo them now that I've lost half of them. I'd like to keep them for prosperity. And anyway, starting to talk a little more easier and, get the sun on my face, and so you can read my sign and see my head. It's all very new to me, but yeah. So Gen W here, and we're in all sorts of places. But you watch over the next 4 years. The US core of US military, the generals that were with JFK, the ones that I believe are fighting for the true republic right now. But again, that's a whole nother story. Those generals are all Gen W, man. They're the ones that fought the republic. Australia's a corporation now. New Zealand's a corporation. So is America, but America's trying to become a republic again, constitutional republic, and not a democracy. Don't ever let that get into your head. So all this has got to play out. And Gen W, who's been here watching it all unfold for 6 years, and we're going to give you a bit of a help along, so you can make sense of what's going to happen over the next 3 or 4 years. Peace.